Chapter 5. Welcome back. Chapter 5 tayo. Chapter 5 na. Chapter 5. Nandito tayo nun eh. Ano natin? Saan ba tayo galing? Doon ba? O dito? Dito tayo galing. Dito tayo galing. Dito tayo galing sa kabila.
Who was writing who? Who was writing this poem? Me? No.
Okay. Ano tayo? Sana malapit na tayo dun sa babaeng detective. May aura dun.
Stepping to the murder site, I'd felt it hanging in the air. A meaning, the violent emotion of the act, like a cloud of wrath. The dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see, and yet making you aware of it. Something that soaked into this place on a molecular level, overlapping with your meaningless existence. Regression to something you had managed to forget, marking you, taking you for a ride, making you crazier.
Okay. Okay. Station pa rin ba tayo? Sa station pa rin tayo? Ay, may cabinet. Yes, may cabinet. Ay, galing ako dito ah. Bukas na eh. Sabihin, galing ako dito. Patingin nga ng mapa. Saan ako? Oo nga. Baba. Pataas. Taas. Ayun. Oh, tapos na nga to. So, kailangan ba talagang bumalik dito? Oo, babalik pala ako sa taas kasi may nagbago na dun. May nagbago na nga pala sa may city.
The station had changed. I was closer now.
Nagbago na rin to. Try nga muna natin yung ano yan. Source of light. Tignan natin kung ano mangyayari. So, wala pa rin naman. Balik na natin sa dati. So, ito na yung city. Nagbago. Nagbago na yung city.
Parliament Tower. Our home in New York.
Hindi naman nagbago
Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment? Would I be home? Or was this just an echo of the real thing?
Meron lang nito.
Even then, the murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
Anong ano natin? Yung goal natin
I had
dito.
a new idea, a new story thread.
Babalik. Ito. Punta tayo dito. Ay, oo, may nagbago na. Kasi fountain, hindi, fountain to rito. Anong nanggaling siya dito nung una? Fountain to eh.
Time loses meaning here. How long have I been trying to escape?
Ayun oh. Nakalagay yung
Long
ano niya.
enough for Alice to think I'm dead.
Alan Wake. 1977, 2010. Meron na siyang estatwa ron. Ano to? Okay.
Writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
Ano na? Yung bukas. Baka biglang may umano, no? Bumukas tapos maraming biglang mga amino. Hey! Shit! Shit! Gulat ako. Tags. Kasi nagugulat eh.
Alice's photo equipment.
Hunting.
Set to go off when the
Bihira
door
talaga.
opens.
Hindi naman natin kailangan ng flashlight. Ba't di niya nalabas yung baril? Oo nga. Hindi niya nalabas yung baril.
Get out!
Uy!
Alice! Alice!
Ano yun? Ano yun?
Alice. This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Is he stalking her?
Okay. Okay. Kaputin na naman natin ang sarili natin.
Alice's video camera. No memory card inside.
Kailangan natin ng ano, memory card. Okay, so ito. So, walang makukuha dito. Ito, cabinet. Wala. Kailangan nito. Hindi tayo. Madilim eh. Ayaw din. Saan kaya itong umakit no? Hindi naman ito pwede. Okay, ito memory card. For Alice. Sarado lahat.
This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books. This symbol wasn't here before.
Kailangan natin ng memory card. Exhibition poster. Ang drawer dito. Uy. Anong kailangan natin gawin? Memory card daw. Wala naman dito. Yun natin sa story natin. Wala tayong bago. Wala. Hindi yan.
The writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Ayun. Memory card.
Alice's memory card.
Okay. Part 1. Kita ko ng memory card. So, ayun. Uy, totoo.
When I was younger,
Grabe naman yung games na to.
photography was everything to me.
Totoo na yung tao.
I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly.
Nalunod siya.
Easy for people to think it was my fault.
Nalunod pala yung si Alan.
Hell, I do too sometimes.
Tapos bigla na lang siya nawala. Napunta siya dyan sa nightmare.
About 6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking,
Ayun, siya na ngayon.
voices. Alan was back, haunting me. when it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her.
So yun na. So yun na. Diyan, okay. Yeah, pasok tayo dito. Ayun. Yung dark place. Typewriter
I
niya.
sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought
yeah.
me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing it.
Sino yun? Parang nanonood ako ng pelikula rito ah. Nanonood ako ng movie. Return. Bye. Sa likod. Sa likod. End of part. So ito na yung chapter 5. So hanggang dito lang. Ayun, end up na chapter 5. Okay, next chapter na ulit tayo.